Warcraft is a movie based on the video game, and yes, it does live up to the hype of video game movies. It's freaking terrible. I'm going to explain the general premise of the movie because the plot was so irritating and headache-inducing, it's not worth getting into. Also, the character names and the places are, they have complicated names, so I'm just going to use layman's terms to get through this. So, Orcland is dying. Evil wizard orc decides, hey, I'm going to build this giant portal and I'm going to bring all the orcs to human world. Only some orcs go through. Human warrior man with beard has a son, and he's fighting for the guy who plays Preacher, who's the king. Paula Patton is there, and she's painted green like the She-Hulk. There's also a very annoying young mage character who's the Jar Jar of the movie. And there's a human wizard, and some stuff happens with him. That's the basic plot. But that's not even touching on how, screwed up this plot is. The movie characters are so boring, especially the humans. They could have been replaced with bricks and the movie would have had the same result. They all get some sort of backstory scene, those scenes in the movies where they just reveal random facts about their childhood or backstory, and it's just miserable. You don't care about these people at all, and it feels so forced. The only good character is a good orc played by Toby Kebbell. He's a resisting evil wizard orc, and he's fighting for his family and things like that, and he has a good arc through the movie. But then they ruin it later in the movie, because I don't freaking know what happened with this movie, man. This movie only exists to set up future movies. It felt like a 2-hour trailer for another Warcraft movie that's gonna come out next year. There is so much world building just thrown at you, it drowns you in the lore. You feel like you're suffocating because you just don't know what's going on. It's just name, new lore, magic, new lore, land, lore, and I'm just ugh. I'm sure hardcore fans will be happy with the Warcraft movie because there's a lot of fan service. I heard a lot of claps from people wearing Warcraft shirts and had long beards. Also, this should be called CGI the movie. There's so much CGI and it doesn't look good except when they do a close-up of an orc. That looks okay, it looks like it could be makeup, and then they move and it looks like a cartoon show. But the humans are real-life actors in the movie, but the orcs are CGI and the landscapes are CGI, so it's a huge clash. The movie should have been just 100% animated to prevent this. And it stands out because it looks like a cheap TV show. And that's doing TV shows a disservice because Game of Thrones has much better effects in this and it's shot on a quarter of the budget. So I'm going to list the positive of this movie. It has a couple good action scenes. I'm done with the positive things for this movie. I intentionally avoided some Lord of the Rings references. I thought about doing a review where just comparing it to Lord of the Rings, but that's doing a disservice to this lore. But you should have taken one thing away from the Lord of the Rings movie. The very first Lord of the Rings movie, you open with a prologue of the elf lady talking about the state of the world, how the rings came to be, the relationships with the humans and stuff. Do that, because I have no idea what the hell is happening in this movie. Who these people are, what their relationships with each other are, why are they acting this way, and it was just headache-inducing because I kept trying to figure out over the course of the movie. Now, I'm not a fan of the Warcraft video games. I've never played them. Die-hard fans may love this movie. I don't know. You should just, streamlined it, okay? I know that's a bad word to throw around Hollywood, but you're making a summer movie. You gotta make things relatable and stuff. Star Wars has a complicated universe, but you know what a princess is, you know what a laser sword is, and you know a big bad space station is bad. Okay, just do that. Simplify it. You're not making, it's so complicated. I seriously had a giant headache after watching this movie. If you had told me that George Lucas had wrote and directed this movie, I wouldn't have given it another second thought. Now, I didn't go in wanting to hate this movie. I wanted to just okay, I'm ready for this to be the best video game movie ever, and it was just painful and dull and bad effects, and it was just a miserable experience for me. On a scale of how many times I wanted to leave the movie theater, I'm going to give this a 7. Like and subscribe, we're done. I'll see you all later. Don't see Warcraft. Bye.